Welcome back to the channel. After the last part of this Vietnam trip, I realized I needed to slow things right down. The early alarms, the long travel days, and generally having too much of a good time had started to catch up with me. So for this part of the trip, it's less about chasing locations and more about actually enjoying being a tourist for a while, wandering, relaxing, and saying yes to a few of the tourist experiences. But even on downtime, the camera really never gets packed away. There are still moments of light, color, and everyday life that are too good to ignore. In this last video of my Vietnam trip, I'm taking a step back, leaning into some tourist activities, and still finding chances to create some images as well as memories along the way. I've managed to make it up for another sunrise. Currently, I'm on an island called Phu Quoc. It's an island that's on the, I think it's on the southwest of Vietnam. Quite a touristy kind of location. So we've been here for a couple of days and we've done quite a few touristy things. So beautiful island, and I've surprised myself once again and actually made it out for a sunrise. I'm not too sure how the sunrise is going to be this morning. There is a few thick clouds around, but I'm out here nonetheless, just doing a bit of an explore. So I'm going to go and see what I can find. I found a composition for this morning. There is a lake that is super still and got some beautiful reflections. There's a bit of color coming into the sky, which I'm quite surprised by, so that's good. I'm going to have to set things up pretty quick. But the lake I'm standing near has got a marsh area around it, and I don't know where the marsh area stops and starts, and I don't want to go treading through marsh first thing in the morning. In the dark. So I'm just going to try and find a spot here where I can get a clear view of the sunrise and the lake, and I'm going to set up an image. So you can see behind me the reflections and the color coming into the sky. Very tranquil for a morning like this. I've set up my camera. I've had it set up for about a minute, and I'm having to battle with some moisture already. Getting a little bit of fog on the lenses, and that's mostly due to the humidity. So I've spent the night in a nice air-conditioned room. I've come out this morning. It's not hot or anything right now, but it is still quite humid. And as soon as I opened up the lens, within about 30 seconds, it started getting foggy. So I'm having to deal with that. But aside from that, it is such a beautiful morning. I'm actually quite glad that I came out again, as I usually am. That's one of the things about mornings. I prefer mornings to sunsets. I think they're a lot more relaxed, but it's a matter of getting out of bed in the first place. So I'm usually pretty glad that I did by the time I get out, but this morning was definitely worth it. This is the composition that I've set up. I have set it up so that the land is right in the middle, so there's the equal amount of sky and reflection in the water. And set the aperture to f11 to capture everything in as much focus as I can. ISO 100, and that's given me a 30-second exposure. So generally when I'm thinking about the manual settings, I start off with ISO 100, so I want to capture the image with as little grain as possible. I'll then look at the aperture. For something like a landscape, I will stay on f11. If it's something that requires a bit more light to come in, then I'll reduce that as necessary. And then for a landscape like this, I'll adjust the exposure time to get the image that I want. For something like Astro, I would look at setting the exposure time first, and then I would adjust the aperture to be as low as possible, and then based on that I would adjust the ISO to get the image that I was after. So for me, it just depends on the type of image that I am trying to get. All right, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to capture this image. Here's my first image from my morning in Phu Quoc. I've moved a little bit further around from where I was before just to get another composition. Very similar composition to what I had last time, but there's some grass in the foreground, still got some nice reflection, and there's still a little bit of color left in the sky, not as much as there was before. So I think that part is done with, but I'm kind of hoping that there might be a second go at getting some color in the sky. So I'm going to hang around for a little bit longer. One thing I did forget this morning was some mosquito spray. And I'm starting to notice that. I'm getting a few bites, but I'm going to persist. I thought it was all organized last night. I had everything organized, sitting ready for me at the door just to get out of bed, get dressed and head off. But yeah, the mosquito spray was a big mistake not to bring with me. I'm also on the edge of a lake, so that doesn't help. So we'll just do the best that we can. Okay, it's 5 minutes to sunrise. Getting a little bit more color in the sky again, so that's going to be good. Hopefully this will go off again. But seriously, these mosquitoes are just having a feast at the moment. What kind of photographer comes out and doesn't bring mosquito spray? It's ridiculous. I won't make that mistake again. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that I will make that mistake again. All right, I'm just going to keep moving around, try and avoid these mosquitoes until sunrise happens. Now, I know I said that I wasn't going to go too far towards the water, but I wasn't quite getting the image that I was trying to get. So I have built up the courage to move a little bit closer to the water. It is a little bit more soggy here, definitely, so my shoes are definitely going to be a bit wet, but that's fine. I think this is a better image, better reflections. There was a little bit of color in the sky. There's still a little bit there. It's just gone sunrise. I've got an ND filter on, so 10-stop ND filter. The settings that I'm using are f11, ISO 100 again, and an exposure time of 30 seconds, which will probably start dropping as the sun comes up. Okay, that's it. I'm taking this image and then I'm going to get out of here. I can't deal with this anymore. These are crazy. Seriously, don't forget the mozzie spray. Okay, here's the image. So I was just about to do my wrap up when I turned around and noticed a bit of light, just some sunlight. Well, there's lots of sunlight at the moment, it is sunrise. But there was a stream of light in between the clouds. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's around about here. and it's basically just some sun rays coming in between the clouds, and it's quite stunning. So I'm going to brave these mosquitoes a little bit longer and take another shot. Same settings, still got the ND filter on, so it'll be probably about 25 seconds now, I'm guessing, now that the sun's starting to come up. But ISO 100 and f11, and here's the image. That's it for the sunrise this morning. That's it from Phu Quoc, and indeed that's it from Vietnam. We fly out this afternoon, unfortunately. It's been an amazing trip. If you ever get the chance to come out to Vietnam, definitely recommend it. People are incredibly friendly. The food's amazing as well. If you ever get the chance, definitely come out here. I know I said that I prefer sunrise. Doesn't mean that I don't like to do sunsets as well. I do have a couple of sunset images, so stay tuned after this to check out some sunset images and a sunset star lapse that I did a couple of days ago. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you out there next time. Coming through now at the moment. What did I just say?